What do my boys coming through once again? And on today's video, we're gonna talk about this memo that CDCR put out there, and where all level 4s in the state of California, all prisons will have level 4 yards, well, at least the level 4 yards. They're a modified program. They're not on lockdown. It's a big difference, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what's the difference, right? Trust me, it's a big difference. But I mean, I remember one occasion when the homies went off on the cops right there in Tehachapi. It was 2008, I believe, possibly April, it was possibly April of 2008 when they did put every Southsider Sureño in lockdown, right? Now that was a lockdown, and that was some scandalous ass move from CDCR, because come on, man, everybody was allowed to go to store, everybody was allowed to go to yard, except if you had any affiliation with the South Side. If you were a Southsider Sureño, you were not gonna have no program at all, and you're on lockdown. So it didn't make sense, man. But that's what they did. I do not agree with what's going on right now. I think it's just ridiculous. They trying to solve their problem, which I don't think they can solve it, right? I don't think they can solve that problem, because one thing we have to understand that California prisons are run by politics. Doesn't matter where you're at. There's always going to be politics. There's always going to be consequences for somebody's wrongdoing, for somebody's who's not wanted in a yard, and that's what it is. That's why this new thing with the the new integration and all that stuff, it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail 100%, man. I do agree in bringing all those programs and trying to help people, or at least offering, let's put it this way, at least offering the tools, you know what I mean, to people who do want to change. There it is, man. If you want to change, you have to do this. Ponle. If you don't, keep doing you, man. It's all good, man. You're not gonna get all that time off your sentence. You're not gonna get none of that stuff. Just keep doing you. And I do think it's good to offer that assistance, but we know that change doesn't come like that. Somebody has to want the change in order to it to come, right? So difference between the modified program and a lockdown, right? So right now what CDCR is going through is a modified program, right? Or level 4s, meaning there's no yard, there's no day room. That's it. You still have canteen. You still gonna walk out of yourself without handcuffs. Visits, there's still gonna be visits. I don't know how they're gonna run the visits, but usually a modified program, you can have visits. I think this is gonna be behind the glass, if I'm not mistaken. Just 1 hour. I think that's modified program. 1 hour behind glass. Or yeah, it's 1 hour. You still gonna be able to get packages. So that's modified program. So basically you get to chill. You don't have to go to work. More like a vacation. Stay away from everybody and your time in yourself. If you want to get out, you still can go out. They're gonna run showers. They're gonna open your door. You're not gonna have a cop escorting you or nothing like that. They're just gonna open your door, gonna let you do what you have to do, and that's it. That's modified program. Now a lockdown is different, man. A lockdown is basically you're in your cell all day. If you're gonna get out of your cell, cops have to go to your cell, cuff you up, walk you. Modified program, they also walk you, but you're not cuff up. They have to walk you, grab you at the arm, take wherever you're gonna go, always in handcuffs. No store. That's what one thing used to suck about lockdowns, man. Especially how they used to do it back in the days where it was like for months. I can't forget those days. It was for months where you didn't have no canteen in yourself. So you don't have canteens during lockdowns. You do not have packages during lockdowns. Once you get off a lockdown, of course, if they send a package, it's going to be an R&R, and that's one of the first things you're going to get. As for canteen, is basically, depends where it lands. That's when you got to go to store, you know. So if it lands in, if you third draw, and if it lands on first draw, you have to wait for first draw, second draw to go in in order for you to go unless that canteen window is run by all money, which some people do it. Usually on the level 4s, it's very rare that they do it, but they possibly can do it, never know. So I mean, lockdowns, there's no visit at all. No visits, they're canceled. There's no such thing as 1 hour behind the glass, none of that stuff. Another thing about lockdowns is that I mean, you cannot go to, nothing. You're on lockdown. You don't got nothing coming, nada. You know what I mean? So that's a big difference. So right now, CDCR is not on lockdown. Those level 4s are not on lockdown. They are on modified programs. That's the big difference, so people don't get it confused. Now, I remember when we went on lockdown for that incident, and it's like this, homie. Let's just put it this way. And those guys, man, these guys, people are crazy. They're announcing businesses. That's how you do it right here. As a matter of fact, we used to have one of those announce our business through the streets. They got like a big old speaker, just giving a description of your business with the hours and stuff like that. But I remember on the lockdown when it happened on April of 2008, man. A lot of homies were mad, but it is what it is, right? It happens. You're part of the lifestyle. It's gonna come with consequences, right? But I do not agree with that, because those actions stay in those yards, man. Or unless otherwise, right? But what's going on right now in CDCR, man, is just people politicking in those yards. So why all of a sudden you're punishing everybody else during a lockdown? I'm talking about when it happened in 2008, when every Southsider, Sureño, however you want to call them, was on lockdown, right? And it was like, it doesn't make sense. Why do I have to pay for somebody that somebody did? And that prison is probably like, fucking, how long was that prison? Probably like 300 miles away. 200 miles away, 300 miles away. It does not make sense, man. But I guess CDCR wants to have like a powwow, like, hey man, let's talk about this situation that's going on. All these officers getting stabbed, because trust me, people are getting stabbed. People and they don't show it on the CDCR news outlet, right? They only post people who have become unalive. But behind all that stuff, behind that 3 people or the 2 people, which was in March 7th, there was 3 unalives in one day, which is pretty big, man. It's pretty big. But they're still happening every single day. Every single day something happens. They just don't post it. And that's why one of the reasons why they did this modified program, because they see that everything is getting out of control. And I mean, there's nothing they can do. It's basically like the earth cleans itself, right? Eventually, every so often, it does this fucking weird stuff where everything burns down or whatever happens, and it starts fresh. Well, it's basically what might be going on right now in CDCR, man. There's people making moves. Understand this. A lot of people are making money. A lot of people are getting burned. A lot of people are stepping on toes, man. A lot of people are moving up the ranks, man. And they have to put in the work. Period. That's what it is, man. And that's how it's gonna be, man. There's nothing around it. It's period, right? So hopefully you like this explanation of what lockdown and modified program is. I don't agree with it at all, but CDCR is gonna do whatever they're gonna do. Period, right? One big problem, if you want to solve your issues, CDCR, your officers, their attitude. Trust me, those guys are not being attacked just because. They're not, man. I'm not saying that all officers are like that. Yes, there's some J-cats, inmates, and I mean, you're gonna have the good and the bad and the ugly, right? In everything. So maybe let's start with the officers. Change their way of thinking. All that fucking things that is going on and where they trying to blame administration. Homie, administration, come on, man, let's just be honest. Administration, that's their own little thing. The people who are doing the damage is the people on the floor, period. Right? So with this being it, we are out. Don't forget to hit the like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel, man, if you want to support your boy. Al ratos.